a real friend doesn't owe you. You can tell if someone is your real friend because you don't owe them an explanation. You don't owe them anything other than a simple no, because friends are honest with each other, right? So if I'm asking P to do something that makes him uncomfortable, like, hey, P, can you throw this dildo in your dishwasher? No.
No.
Nigga, no.
Fuck
Like,
no.
he shouldn't have to say, nah, man, you know, I got babies in the house and they have food and stuff, man. I don't know where that shit's been. Why the fuck you got it? Nah, nigga, no.
Why do you have that in your possession? Do you have a Peter pumper in there too?
Peter pumper in the trunk.
Peter.
Man.
Like, man, fuck no.
So yeah, if you if you feel the need to over explain yourself or over to like give more information than is needed or necessary, you're probably not talking to a friend. So
man, let me tell you something. I don't over explain. I tell my wife all the time, you don't owe nobody no goddamn explanation. And one of my things in life, I don't explain. Unless I feel as though someone needs an explanation if I messed up or something. Like, I'm one of those people, if I mess up, I go out of my way to apologize by actions as well as words. Because just saying sorry ain't enough. You got to show them, right? But if it's something, you know, somebody asks me something, I'm like, I don't got to fucking explain nothing to you. Why you don't want to do this or why not? Or who the fuck are you? Like, I that's one of my pet peeves. Like, you don't owe nobody an explanation. Women, I'm going to tell y'all this too. This is how you identify abusive, toxic people. If a man or just somebody expects you to always be available when they want you, and if you say no, they be like, why not? Those people ain't your friends. You don't have to explain yourself to anybody. Because once you start explaining yourself to people, then they're going to always expect you to explain yourself to them.
Man, and something pretty cool I read. Shout to Stephanie from the I Said No podcast. She's a really, really dope person. Dope podcast, real motivational, real positive sister, right? I'm paraphrasing her tweet, so I'm probably gonna get it really wrong. But she said something to the effect of, that's how you identify people who are controlling or people who are toxic in your life, is when you set boundaries and it makes them angry. Like, you setting boundaries should not make a friend angry. You know what I'm saying? So
it makes them angry because they feel like they can't own you anymore. Yeah. If you have a boundary and you keep somebody out, then they can't claim ownership over you. Yeah. They don't have access.
That's pretty much it, man. So anyway, to wrap up the whole friends thing, right? So we've always been no new friends, no new people. I'm really surprised that we made it as far as we did in life, because when you keep everything the same and you don't want anything to change, how can you expect to grow? And that's like, it's a perplexing thing to me, because like I said last week, I never once tried to be successful. I never once put any effort into anything. And Pia tell you, the people that we grew up with, we all did the same shit. We all, getting arrested, weed, and stealing cars. Man, we got to do an episode about stealing cars.
I ain't never get arrested because I was always like, hey, y'all want to go rent a pipehead car today? I'm like, nah, y'all got it. Like, I always knew when y'all was asking me, you want to do this? You want to come? I'm like, nope. Nah, I ain't doing that. And next thing you know, them niggas got locked up.
Man, and we ain't ever say, hey, man, why you don't want to come steal cars with us, man?
I'm like, man, hell no. You see the crew of people that we with, all the bunch of people that we hung with, it's like, damn, these niggas just waiting to get pulled over. And you renting a pipehead truck or car or Punto that probably got a goddamn expired tags.
Man, let me explain the Puntos too, man.
You can start them Jones with anything.
There was these, the El Salvadorians mainly bought these cars. They were Toyota minivans, right? They were probably
like those weird shaped minivans.
Man, they was ugly, but late 80s, early 90s-ish. Now, this was in the late 90s when we were doing this. Somehow, we found out that you can start all of them with any key. It doesn't matter. I need to find a make and model, man. Yo, when you put together a YouTube video, see if you can find one for this joint.
I'll find it. Shit, I swear to God, all of them joints was like burgundy
or that like weird dusty blue green color, man. Man, so I don't know how we found out that any key starts these. So what we started doing was we started stealing cars, man. We started stealing these puntos. We call them puntos because all of the Salvadorians owned them. And, you know, why not be a little racist and stereotypical while you're
I
at it?
mean, hey, back in our day, it was okay.
So we would go joyriding and we would just go looking. We would go to the Spanish neighborhoods, find them, break in the window, somehow get in and take a house key, start the car. So one of our boys, this nigga stole one. We had a rule, a 3-day rule. After 3 days, you ditch the car because your chances of getting caught with it get exponentially higher, right? Nah, this dude would drive all the way from Alexandria, Virginia out to Oxon Hill, Maryland and park it in some apartment complex. This nigga bought a pass to one of those car washes where you can drive your car through X amount of times a month. This nigga had air fresheners in the joint, then got the joint detailed.
He must not have knew about Maryland. In Maryland, your ass will get told even if you parked legally.
Man, he never get told. He had that
God
fucking
damn.
stolen car for like 3.5 months. Now, that shit at this point, it had become his car. He had like his clothes in the back. And it's like, nigga, we got a 3-day rule. You on month 3. Man, but I park it out in Maryland, so the Virginia
But you
cops
know
won't
what, though?
find it.
They probably didn't report it. They probably didn't want to report it stolen because I noticed from the fire department that immigrants typically don't call 911 because they be afraid they're going to run into immigration issues. So that may be why they didn't report it stolen so quickly.
Man, and what's funny is, so he had the joint for 3.5 months, driving it around, coming to pick us up. We going joyriding. We had stopped stealing cars at this point because it's like, man, he always has a car. So one night he goes back to Oxon Hill, he parks it, and he comes back the next day, his car gone. So he's like, man, fuck, man. The niggas took my car back, man. They took my car. He thought it was his car. But
I know he ain't gonna try to retrieve it from the tow lot.
No, come to find out, he thought that the police had found it and returned it to the owners. No, another nigga stole it. So we started seeing another nigga riding around in the same, and we was following him like, hey man, we following him in another stolen car, trying to get the first stolen car back.
Give him my stolen car back, nigga.
So man, we do that and then rent cars from crackheads for $20. You give them $20, they'll give you their car for the day, man. We used to do a lot of weird shit back in the day, man.
I used to be like, nah, y'all got it. Y'all got it. I ain't doing that.
Yeah, you never got into a stolen car. I can tell you that, man, because I showed up to your house probably twice. I know once with the Lexus and then once with that little pipehead station wagon.
Randomly just show up with a Lexus. I mean, we talked about that on the show once before. It's like, this nigga got a Lexus now. Where the fuck you get a Lexus from? I ain't getting in that.
Hey, man, that shit was funny, man. But we did the same things, all of us, right? I mean, to a certain degree. Yeah. But how is it that
I was a thief? I was a master thief.
How did, and this is what I said last week, is how is my life so much better than the people, we grew up with, right? And again, I'll say this again. I don't mean that maliciously. I just mean, life's a bitch for a lot of them. Some of them still in jail. Some of them can't get jobs because they're felons. And there's just like a whole lot. But I didn't do anything different. I didn't try. I didn't even apply myself. But yet here I am, man. So
I'll tell you why. You knew when to stop. Same as me. We knew when to stop and get serious. A lot of people don't see the writings on the wall, so they become 17. They become 18. They start doing dumb shit, forgetting that they're an adult now. And in Virginia, they don't play that shit. For example, I know somebody who committed a crime when they were 17 years old in Maryland, and they still locked up. All it was is robbery. They're still in jail today, and they were 17. So it's just like, we knew when to stop. I had a kid when I was 18. So that kind of made me get serious. But even with Dan, I mean, his life got uprooted. Mom left, had to go all over the place, and you kind of had to get serious real quick, man. We just kind of, it's that moral code. Some people have it, some people don't.
Yeah. And that's one of the things I said. That's the only thing I could think of is moving halfway across the country to where no one knew me, right? But had I been in the same area, the same neighborhood I grew up in, which ideally I would like to be because I don't like change. I probably would be just like them. And you referenced one of our boys that got shot in DC. Yo, I could have been with that nigga that night because it was
Yeah.
nothing to just go somewhere with somebody from the neighborhood like that. Like, yo, I'm going out the city to
Yeah.
pick up, some weight or whatever, man. So there's so many times where people that we know from the neighborhood got killed, and it would have been nothing for us to actually have been with them on that day. It wouldn't have been, absurd to say, "Oh man, I could have been there." So
See,
yeah,
what
movie.
saved me was I had my career, and even though I was still doing a lot of illegal things, I would have other people do it to kind of put a degree of separation in between me and the deed being done. If it wasn't for my career and my kids, like you said, Dan, I mean, I may have been in the same position because somebody had to go get the stuff,
Hey,
you know?
man, fucking with you did that shit like that's that Italian shit or something, man. Because nobody knew who they were buying shit from, right? And
I
you
had a
could be
nigga that was
sitting in that
criticizing.
room.
I had a nigga that was criticizing somebody who was making all the moves for me, saying, "Yeah, he think he all that because he got this, but Imma undercut him. Imma start doing this and that. Imma start getting them fatter, and I ain't going, and Imma undercut him." And I was like, "Oh, for real? Damn, go ahead, man. Go ahead and try that." Not even knowing that he talking about me. He talking about the person that he
Yep.
thought ran the show. So I told my person, I said, "Hey, give him 5 weeks, and he gonna be asking you, 'What happened?'" I said, "Tell that nigga, hell no." And he was blown, put his ass out of business.
Man, that's how it was, man. You be sitting up in someone's living room in some apartment in your fucking your firefighter uniform, and someone comes over to the house to holler at somebody else, like, "Hey, you got this and this for me?" Yeah, yeah, I got you. Nobody knew that in that whole neighborhood. P wasn't even from that neighborhood.
Nope.
Nobody in that
That's
neighborhood knew who the fuck they was buying from at the end of the
that's how
day.
it's supposed to be. That's how it's supposed to be. You know, I mean, don't nobody need to know your business. And I think that's that social, and this kind of off subject, but once again, that social media bullshit. Everybody want everybody to know what they doing.
Yeah.
Man, don't nobody need to know what the hell you doing, man. Keep that shit close to your vest.